Hi guys, welcome back to Messy and Beautiful. I'm Sarah Jane. Thanks for joining me today for another video. Bit of a different flavour today. I'm doing a voiceover while I sit and make a cleaning routines page in my planner. I just thought that this would be an easier way to do it because I can speed up the video as I'm actually doing the planning. And I know some people don't particularly like this format of video, but I just thought this is going to take me a while to do, so it was just easier for me to just sit and do it, have some telly on, and then talk to you guys afterwards. So I'm just starting off by putting down some of the Every Minute a Story tape that I got from the recent like limited edition planner bundle release, because I really like the tape. I've got no other reason for the fact that I wanted to use it. I sort of wish I waited for the Coffee Monsters cleaning tape that I got more recently, but you know, I made this choice at the time, so maybe I'll use that in my next planner. But I thought that as I'm looking at it quite a lot, it needs to be a tape that I like the look of. I'm just flipping through my Happy Planner alphabet sticker book. It's a very well used sticker book for me, and I'm just finding letters that I think will kind of go with the tape, and I'm going to spell out the words cleaning routines and Friday focus. Now, this routine is based on the Organised Mum Method. I think I watched a YouTube video about it, and then I kind of went down the rabbit hole of watching loads of YouTube videos about it, and I can't remember if I actually went on the website to find out how to do it and how to set it up for your own house and stuff, but I'll talk you through sort of what I'm doing as I'm doing it. If you are wondering what I'm doing here, I don't have an E in this format of letter, so I am just sort of fudging it and building a letter E out of the existing letters that I have in the Happy Planner book. I do this quite a lot in my planning because I find that things like E's and A's I use really, really quickly. So this is a good way for me to just still be able to use up the other letters, or keep using the same sheet if you like, and use up more of my supplies rather than going, oh, I've used all the vowels and I've run out now, so I'm just not going to use any more of that sheet sort of thing. Because I'm quite funny about my letters matching. I'm not someone that does the, you know, like the old ransom notes where they cut letters out of newspapers and stuff in old films. I'm not that sort of person that can do that kind of thing and be happy with it, so I tend to fudge the letters. I quite often use X's or Z's just to make a straight line. I use the Q's if I need like a curvy point on the letter. V's are another one that I use quite a lot. It just depends what I've got left on the sheet really as to which letters I've used a lot of and which ones I haven't, because I'm obviously not always spelling out the same words every time I do something in my planner. And I realise here as well that I need another E, so I have to do it again. So I pull up an F, and I think I've just got an X that I'm cutting down. Whilst the outer white line doesn't match up particularly well, this does usually work quite well for me, because once you stick it down you don't really notice the white border, and it's only if you really look closely that you can tell that it's not the letters that it's meant to be. And I do use a little bit of Tipp-Ex just to try and make the lines work a little bit as well, and it's just about basically giving the appearance of an E without it being an E. Even this one I'm touching up here with Tipp-Ex, and as you can tell, once the Tipp-Ex is on, it looks all right. Like, it will do for my planner. I'm not going to be all precious about my letters and perfectionist about it, because otherwise I will never get anything done and I will never use a whole sheet of letters. So here I'm starting to spell out the words Friday focus. This is because on a Friday you do something different to what you do sort of during the week. But I'll talk to you about what the actual routine is as I'm writing it in, because I've also left all of that sort of footage in, so I can take you through what I'm doing. So whilst you won't necessarily be able to see what I'm writing subject to the size of your screen, you will be able to see, like, get an idea or a feel for how this routine works for me. Now, one thing I will say about this is that I'm really crap at sticking to it. Don't get the impression that I have a very clean house, because I do not at all. But this has always been like my ideal cleaning routine. In an ideal world, I would follow this every single week and then I would have a clean house. But it never works out that way for me. I really, really, really hate cleaning. The only room I like cleaning is the kitchen, because once it's done, you just feel like you're a bit more in control of life. But other than that, the rest of the cleaning is a proper chore for me, and I really have to motivate myself to do it. So I always tell myself I'm going to stick to this. But the other problem I have in my house, of course, is that I need to tidy up before I clean, because my house is, you know, messy with children and things. And I would love to get it to the point where I don't have to pick things up all the time before I clean a surface, or move things around before I clean a surface. Which is one of my goals for this quarter, is to try and work towards that, because I did say I would do it whilst I was on maternity leave, and I haven't got round to starting it yet. I've sort of done the odd bit here and there, like the paperwork drawer and the sideboard and stuff, but I've still got a long way to go. So I'm hoping when my daughter starts school and my youngest starts nursery, that I'll have a bit of time to be able to actually go round and declutter my house so that I don't have this problem. The next thing I'm doing is just looking for like box stickers, because I need some boxes to be able to fill in these pages. I'm basically pulling it across from my old Stalogy and repeating what I've already done, so it's an easy page for me. I don't really have to think about the setup. But the initial setup of it, I did have to spend a lot of time sitting down and working out exactly when I wanted to do things and how it was going to work in my house. I do think it is quite a simple structure once you get your head around it. But of course, people put different spins on it and stuff, so unless you go directly to the source, it might be a bit more difficult to understand. And I'm just flicking through my boxes folder here. This is all like my, you know, colourful boxes type stickers, things that I've picked up from D-stashes, and any kind of box shaped sticker. I pull out some Erin Condren ones, but once I start looking through my stash a little bit more, I think I figure out that I don't actually have enough of this sheet. This sticker album is just full of Erin Condren stickers because they fit nicely in it. It's one from Planner Face, and I'm pulling out a couple of the Hello Kitty ones here just because they're cute, of course. And I wanted to put something in the front of my planner. I was like, oh, I can use that. So I've gone back and I've just put that on my sort of messy sticker page, if you like, at the beginning of my planner, because this is filmed in the middle of my planner setup. But I'm just having a flick through to see how many boxes I actually have, but I don't think I have enough of these ones, so I end up using something completely different. One of the seasonal surprise boxes had a pack of just sticker paper, and it was just coloured sticker paper, and I decided that I'm actually going to use that, so I put these ones away into the folder where they belong, and then I go back to the big sheets of sticker paper in a minute. It's hard to do voiceover, guys, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm watching this and I'm trying to narrate at the same time, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna run out of things to say, but you know me, I'm never gonna run out of things to say, am I? I'm always gonna find a way to fill a silence. Right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just measuring the boxes that I've already got in my other Stalogy, my first half of the year, and using the box sizes to create some colourful boxes out of this sticker paper that's got like a marbled effect on it. Whilst I'm not really a marble sort of person, the amount of this that you see, it's just going to be a little pop of colour, so it didn't bother me at all. But I'm just cutting them down to size to start off with, making sure that they're all the same size, and trying to make sure that I've got enough of them. So I've just picked out 3 different colours. I went for a purple, an orange and a green in this particular colour palette, and then I am just cutting out a few boxes for the cleaning routines page, I think. The Friday focus boxes take up slightly more room, so I do make those slightly bigger, and you'll see that in a moment when I get to that particular point. My paper trimmer here, I just messed up the corner of the box. It's because I tried to put too many sheets through my paper trimmer, and I do it all the time, so I just took that one away and was like, oh, I won't bother with that one. Now, the other thing I'll say about doing voiceover is that I'm a little bit self-conscious because it's not something that I do very often. And also, I have a dictaphone for my job. So I'm laughing at my own video here. So I sort of put on my worky voice, I think, rather than my more natural voice. The reason I shook my finger with that sticker paper when I flipped it over and it had the yellow backing, I'm like, I hate this sticker paper, I can't stand it. But I've got loads of it left, and it will do for my planner. It doesn't do in my shop, and I will not use it in my shop. I don't like it at all. But for what I need it for my own planning needs, I'm just like, do you know what? it will do. So I make stickers out of this all the time. I also make them for my daughter out of this paper. Like, I don't want to just get rid of it because it is sticker paper that I've bought. I have cut that video down slightly because, of course, me cutting out boxes is not particularly exciting, and I think I do the same thing here. So all I did was cut some white sticker paper boxes, and now I'm sticking them on top of the coloured boxes, and voila, a colourful box. Just the perfect size for what I needed, and also some nice colour for the page, I suppose. You don't have to do it this way. You can, of course, lay it out however you want to lay it out, but this is just something that I like doing. I like to make my pages look pretty. I think I'm more inclined to look at them, and I'm more inclined to use them. I say that. I'm still not very inclined to do the cleaning, though. So I just go through and I'm sticking the white paper to the boxes, and I'm doing it by eye, so they might not be perfect, but it was enough. Again, my planner doesn't bother me at all. I don't look that closely at them that I'm like, oh, that one's wonky. I'm a little bit more funny about when I put them down on the paper, and I do spend a bit of time moving it around. But I just sort of clear away all the backing paper there. Have another drink of tea because it's absolutely necessary to keep me going. And I'm just going to pause this here while I do the same thing. I think my blood caffeine levels are particularly off at the moment. So I'm now just going through and sticking these boxes on the page, and I will fill them in afterwards. I don't even remember why I selected the colours I did. Maybe I looked at the letters. I think the letters have got sort of an orangey colour in them. So there's 6 boxes on each page there, and then these boxes are slightly bigger for the Friday focus pages, and I think I flip them round as well so you can get more on like the portrait of the box rather than the landscape. Because the lists on the Friday focus are slightly longer because it's supposed to be a more like in-depth cleaning routine, and the reason for that is that you're basically picking up each room and doing a bit more in it and making sure that your house is essentially spotless, but mine will never be spotless. I think I've come to accept that after many years of therapy. So I'm just making a couple of extra boxes here because I didn't have quite enough, and I just wanted to make sure that I had them all ready to go so I could just stick them on the paper. So then I'm just going round, sticking them down and making the page all ready for me to write the information in the boxes. So that's these pages set up. I think the next thing that I do is try and go through my stickers again. I'm going through my day covers here, and I'm looking for some day covers that I think will work with the page, because whilst the double page there is Friday focus, the first page needs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. The idea behind this cleaning routine is that you only have to clean Monday to Friday, and then you don't do any cleaning on a weekend, which in an ideal world is something that I would love to achieve, particularly when I start going back to work, and I'm going to have to start working more days than I'm working at the moment, so that's going to impact on how much I can get done around the house and that kind of thing. But I've just picked some day covers that I like, and I'm just going down the colours. I think they're Rebel Ink ones that I'm using, and I'm just putting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then there's the first block that is blank, and that is for daily cleaning. So the whole process is basically that you're on a 2-week rota. You do the same things every single day, Monday to Friday, and then on a Monday you pick a room, on a Tuesday you pick a different room, on a Wednesday you pick a different room, and you just go around your house and you just do a room a day. And then Friday focus is more deep cleaning, so it's things like cobwebs off of light shades and skirting boards and things like that. And then you rotate the rooms around your house so that once every 8 weeks, or however many rooms in your house there are, you are going round and doing the skirting boards in all 8 rooms or what have you, so that they never get particularly bad. Skirting boards is probably a bad suggestion from me because it's something that I really don't clean very often, and probably only needs doing once every 3 or 4 months, but it's just something that I've included on my schedule. In an ideal world, this is what I would like to achieve. Here I'm just picking one of the like micron pens that I got from Temu, and I'm just testing out like how thick the pen is before I decide I'm going to use it, and then I remember I've got to put all the rubbish in the bin. The reason I'm using one of these oil-based pens is because I'm writing on some stickers from Little Bloom Papery, and they're just the watercolour strips, so I'm just going through and writing on each of the rooms of my house. So I've got lounge, bedrooms, entrance hall, bathrooms, for week 1, and then for week 2 I've got office and shed, kitchen, conservatory and bathrooms again. And the only other thing I've written down is next page next to the Friday, and that was just more for consistency, so it looked the same. And then the daily box just says daily at the top of it. And now all I'm doing is choosing some clean colour dots, just for some bullet points. I'm using the skinny end because there's not a lot of space for me to write in these boxes, and if I use the thicker end then I'm going to take up half the box, and probably not have enough room to actually write down the tasks I want to write down. So in my daily boxes, I'm writing down the same tasks for both weeks, so week 1 and week 2, and it's sweep floors, hoover lounge, make beds, tend to washing. So I'm just moving the washing, whatever it be. I need to put a wash load on, I need to put some washing away, whatever it may be, just attend to the washing. Sinks and surfaces, so just give them a quick wipe down and emptying any full bins that are in our kitchen, because we have that set of like recycling bins that, you know, you've got your food waste and your cardboard and blah blah blah, and we have to empty ours where I live into different bins outside rather than just having one for recycling and one for like the general waste. So I put empty full bins because of course we have various different stages of bins being empty, needing to be emptied. Then on a Monday for week 1 in my living room, I've just put, and most of these lists are actually quite similar in each of the rooms, but I've just put tidy up, clear surfaces, dust, cobwebs, windowsills and sofa. And when I've written down sofa, that's just because I've got very young children, and of course sometimes my sofa can get a bit grubby, so it's just making sure that there's no stains on it or anything like that. And we also have a cat, so it's just making sure there's no cat hair and stuff. On a Tuesday I've put bedrooms, and we live in a 4-bedroom house, but 3 of those are actually bedrooms, so this is only 3 rooms, and they're probably the tidiest rooms in our house if I'm honest. So I've just put tidy up, strip beds and wash the sheets, remake the beds, windowsills, dust and hoover, and then I intend on doing that in both my room and my daughter's rooms as well. But like I say, because they're already pretty tidy, it's quite easy to keep on top of that anyway, and I don't necessarily need to build that into my weekly routine. It's just something that I kind of do on a daily basis, just sort of walk around and go, right, what can I put away and that kind of stuff. Then on a Wednesday I've put entrance hall, but that includes like my landing and my stairs and that sort of stuff. So I've just put tidy up, dust, hoover upstairs, hoover downstairs, banister and cobwebs. And that's because upstairs and downstairs hoovering to me is 2 separate jobs. I know for some people it's 1 job, but for me it's 2. And then the like banister, again, just looking for sticky marks, sticky fingers from my 4-year-old. And then on a Thursday I've put bathrooms, so I've just done sinks, mirrors, bath / shower, because we've got a combi, surfaces, toilets, floors, so just to have a quick wipe round and make sure everything's clean and tidy. And then Friday says 30 minutes Friday focus, which is the next page. Then on week 2, I've filled in the daily again, so I've got sweep floors, hoover lounge, make beds, tend to wash in, sinks and services, empty full bins. Now, I don't hoover my lounge every day, but again, just because we've got a cat and a young baby who picks up absolutely everything off the floor, I do try and hoover quite regularly in there just to make sure that she's safe, really. And I'm not saying that that needs to be the standard, because absolutely not. You do you. I'm not a very, very clean person. I wish I was. My mother is military clean. She always has been. And I wish I could be like that. So is my mother-in-law, in fact. But neither of them had to work as well as bring up children. And, you know, their priorities were different to mine as well. So it's just different times. So I try very hard not to compare myself, and that's taken me about 5 years of therapy. Anyway, tangents on this channel, in case you haven't seen me before. I love a tangent. Right, so on a Monday I've put office and shed, and I've put tidy up, dust, windowsills, hoover office, mop shed floor. I don't do that weekly. Well, probably do that once every 6 months, but in an ideal world. On a Tuesday in the kitchen, I've put tidy up. I've put paperwork, because our paperwork tends to pile up in the kitchen. You know, it's our landing space. When we first come in the house, Holly brings in a pile of artwork from nursery. It all just gets shoved in the kitchen, bills, letters, that kind of thing. So I just go through the paperwork, clean surfaces, hoover, wash floors and cat bowls, because we've got the cat and we get a bit rubbish at cleaning out her bowls. I have to admit, she gets a bit neglected since we've had 2 children. And then on a Wednesday I've put conservatory, so this I've put tidy up, clean the tables, it's where we eat our dinner, dust windowsills, hoover and wash floor. And then Thursday is back to the bathrooms again, so it's the same list as last time, which is sinks, mirrors, bath, shower, surfaces, toilets, floors. And then Friday says 30-minute Friday focus. And then all I'm doing now is just putting some like deco stickers down. So I've put down like a little house street thing of the Coffee Monsters Co. I'm putting down some of the Grumpy Tortoise stickers that say just put the damn clothes away, because they're one of my favourite stickers, because it absolutely sings to me. We live out of washing baskets because it's just the one job that I do not like doing. And yeah, my daughter's always like, Mum, I need socks. And then like I'm putting down some, I think they're from Lemon Makes, but they're like little kitten artwork stuff. There's one from Legally Planning, and I'm just putting in some like deco stickers to make the page look pretty. I've tried to relate it a little bit to what's in the boxes, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But that is essentially my week 1 and week 2 cleaning routines. Monday to Friday are my daily tasks. So how the Friday focus works, I'll just start talking about this now because I think I flip over the page quite shortly, is that you spend 30 minutes on a Friday zoning into one area of your house. So you do your daily tasks as well, so you're still doing your dailies. You don't need to do your dailies on a weekend if you don't want to, but things like emptying the bins and stuff like that I still do on a weekend because it just keeps our house ticking over and we don't then have, you know, rubbish overflowing and stuff. I'm not saying we need to empty a bin daily, but I just check them every day and make sure. And that's one thing I'm quite good at keeping on top of. But yeah, the Friday focus, so you do your daily cleaning still, but then you also do 30 minutes of focused cleaning. And that focused cleaning is on a particular room in your house. And like I say, you're getting a bit closer into like the deep cleaning stuff. So I start off by putting on some more of the like watercolour strips from Little Bloom Papery, sticking those down on across the top of the boxes. And I don't need to label these ones every day because of course this is just on a Friday. This is just what you do on a Friday. So I have 8 sections that I do, and then work my way round. So every 8 weeks each room is getting done. So the first room that the rooms that I've written down, I've separated it into lounge, kitchen, conservatory, because that's like our dining room, cloakroom, hall and stairs, bathroom, bedrooms, so collectively all the bedrooms, and then office and shed. The only problem with office and shed is that my office is upstairs in my house and my shed is downstairs outside, like completely the opposite side of the building. So whilst I have clubbed them together, I don't necessarily do them both at the same time. I sort of do one, and then when I come round to doing the next Friday focus, I'll try and do the next one. I sound like I do this all the time. I do not do this all the time. This is just my ideal. And I know I've said that a couple of times, but I just don't want anyone to go away from this thinking that they're not good enough, that they're not cleaning enough, that their house isn't tidy enough. Trust me, your house is tidy enough. My husband has been into people's houses and I have seen people's houses that you have to wipe your feet on the way out. And so unless your house is like that, I am very much sure that your house is not that bad. My house is not spotless, and I really cannot emphasize that enough in this video. This is just this is what I would love to achieve, and I know I've said it a few times, but I really am worried that someone's going to go away and go, oh my god, that's a lot of cleaning. It's really not. So this Friday focus is intended to be 30 minutes. So in the living room I have written down tidy fireplace, tidy bookcase, wash blankets, windows and doors, so just give them a wipe over if they've got sticky prints on them, hoover the sofa, clean the door handles, cobwebs, skirting boards. Kitchen, I've written microwave, toaster, and by toaster I mean empty the crumb tray. Clean the fridge, but I don't clean the fridge, I just wipe down the dirty shelves, I don't clean the entire fridge. Windows, doors, again just for sticky fingers more than anything. The top of the hob, the tiles, the sink and the cupboard doors, again just any sticky marks, any spills. I'm not going to go around and clean every single kitchen cupboard in my house every 8 weeks because I haven't got time for that shit. I've got far more interesting things to do with my life than clean my kitchen cupboards every 8 weeks. Then my conservatory, I've put tidy, skirting boards, windows inside, dust, chairs, sideboard, kids table, so we've got like a little art table where Holly sits, bench seat and wash floor. So the only thing really that needs doing there is dusting and washing the floor. And then the kids' table where they sit. The rest of it is just kind of keeping an eye on it. You know, if something's particularly bad, then I'll go and tackle it. But I only give myself 30 minutes. So if I don't get down the whole list, I do not beat myself up about it. And yes, I do have a timer cube and I do use it for things like this because I just find it more motivating to go, right, 30 minutes and it's done. I've only got to do 30 minutes. I haven't got to make sure my entire conservatory is clean from top to bottom because otherwise I will never finish it. So then my cloakroom, I've got shelf, back of the toilet, you know, that bit where it gets really dusty, bathroom cabinet, wash floor, behind the toilet again, so back of the toilet is like behind the toilet at the top. We've got like a shelf where I keep like a reed diffuser and stuff, so that's what I mean by back of the toilet. And then behind the toilet is the bit at the bottom where all the dust collects. I've got a friend who actually buys really cheap toilet paper so she doesn't have to deal with the dust. I'm going to run out of time on this recording, I think, but I better keep going. Then I've put restock cupboard, soap dish, skirting boards. Hall and stairs, I've put empty shoe rack, hoover, dust, cobwebs, skirting board, banister, doors and windows. Bathroom, I've put skirting boards, big cupboard because we've got a great big cupboard in our bathroom that needs tidying up quite regularly. Mirror cupboard, again just one of them open mirror things. Tiles, windowsills, windows, ornaments, toys behind the toilet and the bath panel. Bedrooms, windowsills, windows, cobwebs, declutter clothes, declutter makeup, skirting boards, declutter stuff, top of cupboards because I put all the clothes that don't fit the kids anymore in boxes on top of their wardrobes. So anything that needs to be put away properly, I just shove it in that box. And when the box is full, it goes in the loft for the next child because Holly's stuff is obviously getting passed down to Charlotte. And then office shed, I've got clear desk, tidy cart, tidy up, declutter, paperwork, cobwebs, chairs, windowsills and windows. And then the last thing that I'm doing again is just putting down some deco on the page just to make it look pretty. I've got some more of the Stick Babe book, which you might have seen me use earlier on in the video. I've got some Wendy's Cute Creations, little cleaning stickers, one from Sweet Ava's Papery, which is like a little cat emptying a wardrobe. There's some Coffee Monsters and some what they called Little Thoughts Store, like emptying a bin. And then there's a Once More With Love in the top right hand corner, like doing the dishes. So that is essentially what I would consider to be my ideal cleaning routine. And hopefully one day I'll actually be able to achieve it and have a clean and tidy house. But at the moment, just not happening, guys. But I keep it in my planner because, you know, we can dream, can't we? It's something that I really would love to be able to do and would love to be able to stick to. But go and check out the Organised Mum Method if you're a bit more interested in how this works for you and for your house. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit the subscribe button down below because I would love to have you back. Take care, everyone. Thanks very much for watching.